Andy, I was doing the same thing and I had thunder came and I went inside.
I know. It like passed over, just rained for like 30, 40 seconds.
All right. I think I am.
All right, Bill, you're all set.
Okay, great, Chris. Thanks very much. All right, we will call the meeting to order with a pretend gavel. And I'll read the adequate notice statement here, the modified one for the COVID-19 pandemic. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the board in preparation of the 2020 annual meeting notice, which sets forth the date, time, and place of this meeting, and by properly posting such notice and forwarding the notice to those designated newspapers and persons requesting meeting notices. Moreover, in order to comply with the national and state declarations of emergency related to the COVID-19 pandemic, and in accordance with the municipal land use law, the Open Public Meetings Act, and the recent operational documents from the Department of Community Affairs, this meeting is being held virtually as a web-based platform with remote public access. So we'll go to our Pledge of Allegiance now. I guess we'll try to stand up maybe, huh? Well, that's not much of a view, sorry. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay. And Mr. Secretary, will you do the roll call?
Certainly. Chairman Anderson,
Present.
Vice Chairman Brinkerhoff. You're muted.
All right. We can see him.
There I am. Okay, present. Sorry.
Councilmember Little. Councilmember Little.
Present.
Ms. Paulson Alvarez. Ms. Paulson Alvarez. All right, we'll get back to her. Mr. Drummond.
Here.
Ms. McNeil.
Here.
Mr. Delory.
Here.
Mr. Zucker is excused. Mr. Perella.
Here.
Mr. Fiore.
Here.
And Mr. Formicelli.
I'm here.
And for the record, Amanda Wolf is here, substituting for Mr. Warner. So on behalf of the board, I'd like to welcome her.
Welcome.
And is Ms. Paulson Alvarez back? Okay, don't hear anything.
All right. All right, I guess our first order of business really is to look at the meeting minutes from the April 27th meeting. I wondered if anyone had any comments, questions, suggestions, modifications, etc. No. The last item on the agenda was really the DRO update. Jay, do we have any idea when we think we may see that red line?
Well, we were expecting it by now. I was thinking of calling Tom today, and frankly, I didn't get around to it. I'll give him a call in the morning and can report back. It's overdue now to be.
I was just curious. Okay, so we have a public hearing, obviously, for the Cardone contracting, and we had one scheduled on the agenda for Beechwood at Summit LLC also. The public hearing for the Cardone contracting 83 Maple Street is at the request of the two attorneys will be carried to the next meeting, as will Beechwood at Summit LLC. But I wanted to see if Ms. Wolf had anything to add to that, and in particular, whether we need to have a motion and a vote to carry each of these applications.
We do not, but let's go back one step just for the minutes. I don't know if we got a motion in a second.
Yeah. Oh, sorry for the minutes. Yeah, sorry, I have a bad habit with that. All right, so
I'll move approval.
okay, and a second.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yep.
All right.
Okay, great.
Then as far as Cardone contracting, I believe that the applicant took no position as to the actual adjournment request, but we did have an objector that requested the adjournment. So it's up to the board as to whether to grant the adjournment request.
Okay. I guess the conversation I had with Steve late on Friday indicated that the two attorneys had come to agreement on the fact that they would be a postponement or the application being carried.
I think
But-
Mr. Weber's associate is here, if that helps.
Yes, I believe she is. Miss Alfonso, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Maybe you can give us a little background here.
Thank you. Yes. So we cannot take a position with regard to the request for adjournment. However, that is understood that the board would consider that.
So I guess technically, maybe with our two counsels on the line here, maybe that has to do with the fact that it's the seller whose interests, I guess, are really being represented here, and that it's hard for Ms. Alfonso or her team to commit for the seller, given that they're the property owner technically. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So getting back to the question I had earlier, Ms. Wolf, do we have a need for a motion?
You could just do a voice vote, just ask if everyone's okay with it, and then we will carry it to our next scheduled meeting, which is on July 27th at 7:30 p.m. I believe it will still be virtual, as far as we know.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
So,
so it'll be the same place, same time.
Do it one at a time maybe here. So maybe
Yes.
the voice vote would be first on the 83 Maple Street Cardone contracting.
Okay, all in favor to carry them to July 27th?
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, seeing none.
Right. And then with regard to the Beechwood at Summit LLC, 43 Woodland Avenue, we want to carry that also to 7/27/20.
Can I ask a question about that? Are we
Sure.
getting plans, or I didn't see any plans or anything in our package about that?
Yes, so essentially what's happened is the applicant's attorney has received the plans, as I understand it. Basically, they had to work out an issue with a little parcel of land, which they did not technically own. So I think they've ironed out the plans now. And I'm just waiting for Mr. Maynard to file everything. So once I get it, it'll go out for staff reviews again. And then once that's completed, you guys will receive everything.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
So we need a voice vote for that?
Yes, please.
Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Okay, great. All right, I think that covers most of the business we have tonight. One thing I just might report is that we've had some questions as it relates to when we might be back in the council chamber. And it's a big might, I guess, but in conversations I had with the city manager, Michael Rogers, indicated that their goal is to be sometime in September, maybe for us. And now that we have Councilwoman Little here, maybe she has some newer information, because I spoke with Michael maybe about a week ago. Anything new on that, Beth?
I don't have anything new. I think there's still issues with how we would socially distance in the council chambers. And so, I think we're still waiting for guidance on that. City Hall is opening for business on July 6th, but they're still concerned with the social distancing and how we would do that in the chambers. And if we would have some of us virtually and some of us in chambers, or how those types of things are going to be worked out. So I don't have any other further guidance on that.
Okay. Well, that's the guidance that I got. And one of the things, as you said, that Michael mentioned was that we may have some people in the chamber, some people on, some kind of a hybrid, in essence, some people on Zoom, because some of the public may be uncomfortable coming into the chamber, or some of the board members may be uncomfortable, or the applicants potentially. We may have some kind of a hybrid situation for a few months after some of us may be in the council chambers.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Matthew, anything to add to that, or Chris, in terms of your, as a staff, or anything that you're hearing there?
I think that was well said, and I don't have anything additional to add, actually, so, great job.
Nor I, thank you.
Now, we do have one or two members of the public perhaps here tonight. Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak in any form or another? Not on the agenda necessarily, but if you have an item on your mind, so to speak. Mr. Getzendaner and Mr. Chiella, is that right? Okay, so hearing none, looking for a motion to adjourn.
Before you adjourn, Bill, I just want to note that Ms. Boston Alvarez is indeed here.
Ah, I see her. Hello there.
All right, go
Okay,
ahead.
so I move to adjourn the meeting.
And a second, please.
Second,
All right. Do we need a vote there? A voice vote?
All in favor to adjourn?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed?
All right.
Didn't think so.
See you all next month. Thank you all.
All right, stay
Take it-
safe.
Happy Fourth,
Well,
Have a good
Bye.
happy Fourth, everybody.
bye.
Thank you.
Bye.